Good afternoon, America. This is Scott in the Shot, come live from Gridley, California. And this is Scott in the Shot for a reason. This is where I released the Kraken yesterday. Here we go again. Shot. Woo! You know, people, these Democrats are whining about China and Russia and everybody being an what is it called? Existential threat to America. I'm buzzing. But here's what's up, people. They're always going to be that. The best thing we do is try to get along with them and not lie and throw Russia hoaxes and all that shit out there. But they're always going to be a threat to us. They're our adversaries. But we know what deters them is the person in power of our country. I cannot believe that under Biden that we didn't get into World War with China and Russia because he was such a weak, stupid, losing his mind, old man who let other people run the country, and he was just a figurehead. He was a figurehead. That's what he was. I mean, you got a bunch of transgenders calling the shots. A bunch of transgender and transgender-loving Democrats calling the shots. And how's that going to deter our enemies? That puts a big bullseye on our back because that makes us look weak. We got a bunch of transgenders in our military that are in our military trying to get transitioned while they're in our military. I mean, when did our military ever become a transitional point for transgender freaks? I mean, that's a fact. If you want to be a transgender or a homosexual, that's fine. I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to see it. I don't want to vote on it. I don't want you to be a special interest. But make no mistake about it, people. The only thing that keeps China and Russia at bay is having a strong commander-in-chief in office. Somebody who, like Donald Trump just did today, talking real shit on real TV with another with Zelensky. That Zelensky he's got his hand out. He just wants an unlimited amount of money. And when it comes right down to it, he wants security guarantees. Well, what other security, besides just giving him money and they're losing all their soldiers, what is the security guarantee that he wants? He wants American boots on the ground or European troops on the ground they're fighting. Well, if the Europeans want to be that stupid, then go for it. We have adversaries in this world, and we let them run their countries, and the best thing to deter them is having a strong leader and building up your own military instead of, that's like the UK coming to the table. We're going to start giving 2.5%. You're going to start. You're a rich country. You should have been giving 2.5% for your goddamn fucking protection a long time ago. Because let's face it, people, America saved this world in World War II. America saved this world in World War I, and that is what's going on. And I'm tired of us, American lives and American money being lost on the battlefield for these other countries not being able to defend themselves. We live in a crazy world, people. There are fucking people that want to take over other countries. And the best way to deter that is not by giving somebody aid and attaching some transgender shit to it in order to, and that's going to save them. No, that's putting a bullseye on their back because these other countries don't get it. Just like I don't get it. I mean, so I love Donald Trump. He's a strong leader. He's a heterosexual, strong leader like these other countries' leaders are, except for maybe some in Europe now. I don't know. They're turning into a bunch of weirdos thanks to the Biden administration and the Democratic Party for promoting all this weirdness in the world. We live in a complicated world, people. But I'm telling you right now, the transgenders are not going to win this fucking world for us. They're not going to win the wars for us. What are we going to do? Have a bunch of transgender women becoming men that are going to defend our country? Basically a bunch of women. It takes men to run this world and to keep these other men at bay. And if you want to be a transgender and be a weirdo, then be it. And I'm not going to pick on you. I'm not going to do it. But when they start putting into our lives, trying to change the world with it, trying to teach our kids it's okay to change their sex, to mutilate their body. I mean, that's what it really comes down to, people. That is what's going on really in our government on the Democratic side. We got a bunch of Palestinians protesting at these colleges again, a bunch of Palestinian-loving fucking terrorists. And we're allowing that. There's a limit to free speech, people, when it comes to this kind of stuff. And when they're stifling education in our colleges, they need to be stopped. They need to be stopped immediately. That's not free speech. That's a bunch of fucking Palestinian terrorists that are in our country that are trying to change our country to think like an Arab. Well, this country's not based or founded on Arab beliefs. It's not. If you don't want to live here and be part of a republic, part of a democracy, then get the fuck out. Get out of here. We're not going to change our way of living. That's why America was founded. We came over across the seas to change what we didn't like. And now, because the Democratic Party and all because they want votes, they're trying to change our democracy, change our republic. I mean, what's really going on? That's what's really going on. And I don't like it. And I'm going to say it plain and simple in plain English because that is some crazy stuff. I want to see this world be ran by heterosexuals mainly because these homosexuals are taking it to a different level. Transgenderism is not real. You can never be the opposite sex. I mean, I get it. You wish you were born the opposite sex, but you weren't. I mean, are we going to really start letting the world change the sexes of people? I mean, what if you believe in God at all? I mean, once we lose, people, I don't, I believe in God, but I guess a lot of people probably don't. But if you lose hope in mankind and the world and life, I mean, then what do you have left? You have anarchy. God is a beacon of hope. And God says you're not supposed to lay down with the other sex. And especially, and I don't care about that as long as you don't bring it into my life. Me and my wife are never on the street displaying a behavior, kissing, making out, fucking, talking weird shit on the internet. I mean, I don't want to hear that stuff. I don't want to see it. Keep your sexual whims in your house like they used to do back in the day. It's called having some class. You know what I'm saying? It's called having class. That's what I got to say about that. But when it comes to the world stage, people, Donald Trump is exactly what we need. And we need him after the 4 years he's gone. We need Vance in there. And after that, we need another Republican in there. Hell yeah, that's my beautiful wife. She gets it. What part of that? You know what? Back in the day, I used to do a lot of drugs back when I was younger. And I could honestly admit that I did drugs. But I can admit also that drugs are not the way. And I never influenced them on children or wanted them to be taught it in schools. Now it's all legalized. Everything's crazy anymore. What part of keeping your fucking weirdness in your home is so hard to understand? Why is that so wrong? Trying to push it on us other people that don't believe in it is wrong. And I'm going to call you out on it. I don't push my sexual whims on you, and I don't want you pushing them on me. I don't want you pushing them on my children. I don't want teachers that are supposed to be teaching math, English, science. I don't want them pushing that sexual shit on my kids, my grandkids, or anybody else's kids. If you believe that's cool, then you're just a weirdo. I mean, we should have never stopped closing down these mental institutions back in the day because some people are just mental. And you parents that are propagating that onto your kids, shame on you. These kids don't need to be thinking about condoms in 6th grade or in preschool. I mean, what are you guys thinking? Kids and humans find their sexuality naturally. It doesn't have to be propagated by anybody. It doesn't have to be influenced on them. They will find their way. And if they find that way naturally, I'm all for it. If you want to be a homosexual or you think you can be a different sex, then so be it. But I don't want to hear about it. Just like I don't want to hear about my heterosexual friend down the road fucking his wife. I don't want to hear about it. I don't sit there and talk my sexual stuff with my wife to anybody, and I don't want to hear about your crap. I don't want to hear about it, okay? Is that so hard to understand? Is it really that hard to understand, people? That keep your fucking freaky shit to yourself and stop propagating it onto society, onto our kids, and on other countries. They don't want to hear it. They don't want our country to give them $15 billion a year to make them like us and then attach a transgender opera on it. Is that so hard to understand? Why are people so weird anymore? They don't understand common sense. There is a line of normality that we have to live with, people. If you want to be abnormal like I used to be, I keep it to the people that I'm dealing with that are abnormal, but I don't bring it in to the limelight of people that don't want to hear it because they don't want to hear it. And I know they don't want to hear it. And I respect that. Respect me not wanting to hear it either, though. And that's what's up, people. We have a strong leader in the presidency right now, in Donald Trump, in the Republican Party. And you Republican senators and congressmen, you better get on board because I'm tired of all this freaky stuff. And when it comes to working with the Democrats, you cannot do it in today's world. You cannot work with the Democrats in today's world. So the Republicans have to stay on point and back each other's fucking vote. Plain and simple. The Democrats are in a different fucking weird world now. They allowed all this weird stuff to infiltrate their party, and it's affecting our way of life and our government and our kids, our society, and it's about time for it to stop. Because we will be taken over by China and Russia someday if we don't stay strong. You know what keeps Putin at bay? Is a strong leader like Donald Trump. You know what? He went into Ukraine because we had a fucking weak, mental fucking president that was mentally fucking challenged because he had old. Because some people when they get older they lose their mind. My parents are in their 80s and they're all there still, people. So it's not about age. But fucking Joe Biden lost his mind a long time ago, and the Democratic Party hit it. This is like that Jake Tapper. He's coming out of the book now. You know what, Jake Tapper? Eat a bag of dicks. You're a little bitch. I mean, you sat there hiding, trying to hide his mental, his mental acuity. I mean, for years, all you Democratic, news organizations did, and now you're trying to act like you didn't do that. Stop it. We all remember. That's why you all. That's why nobody watches your shit, because you guys are a bunch of fucking weirdos. Yeah, I mean, who goes to college their whole life to become a broadcaster or become to become a newscaster in order to lie on TV? Well, I mean, that'd be like me as a carpenter going around and saying, I'm going to build you a nice house. But when it's all said and done with, it's like that house they built in, what's that movie with fucking Ben Stiller? Where he's the model.
Oh, the Zoolander.
Zoolander. It's like Zoolander trying to build that building for reading, and it falls in on that movie. That is what the Democrat. That's the equivalent to that. I don't want to see our nation fail because we got a bunch of retarded people in our government that believe. I don't even think they believe in it. They're just trying to get votes, trying to get ultimate power, and trying to keep our democracy going and our republic. And that's what's up. I hope you people remember that. We have a republic here, and it's a democracy, and this country was based on Christian values, and we need a strong man in government, a strong president that reflects those views. This is America. It's not fucking Iraq. It's not Iran. It's not China. It's not fucking South America. We are America, and that's why we came to this country, fought for it back in when you had to take land by force, and that shouldn't happen no more. In a modern society, people, we got to come together and realize that there's different democracies, there's different ways of governing in these other countries, and not put them down, not have a fake Russia hoax. I mean, in order to get your way in our government, that Russia hoax is what started all this. The Democrats and Hillary fucking Clinton. What a fucking loser! That Hillary Clinton should be in prison right now for that Russia hoax. If you or me would have done it, we would be in prison. I mean, the 51 intel agents that lied, why aren't all 51 of them in prison for lying to the American people? We paid them, voted them into office, whoever had anointed them to their position, into office, for them to lie to us, all to get an outcome for their political side. I mean, that's not what America was founded on. That is just like it was back in the Roman Empire. This is not the Roman days. It's not the Egyptian days. It's not the days where England tried to fucking take over the world and put their values on people like Braveheart. I mean, this is America. And the only way we're going to survive in America is to stand by all the beliefs and all the things that we created since day one of this country being founded by Americans. I'm tired of that fucking reverse racism. I'm tired of black people saying that we're still racist. I am not a racist. I'm an American. And if you're a real black person, a real Mexican, a real foreigner coming over here, you'll believe in what I'm saying, because we're all Americans once you're a citizen. And that's what I believe in. I don't believe in racism, but if you're going to try to push all that weird shit on me, I'm going to stand up and say something about it. There is no slavery no more, people. The Democrats are trying to make us all slaves. White, black, Mexican, Asian. They want us all to be slaves to their weird way of thinking. All to stay in power because they don't want to lose power. Well, that's the way the world works, people. Some days you got it good. Some days you got it bad. Some days me and my wife are on top of the world. Some days we're feeling down. That is how the world works, and that is reality. We need to stop with this bullshit. All these Democrats, all they are is full of bullshit. They're lying little cheaters. That's what they are. And they're the ones that got us and Ukraine into this situation. But don't remember the people. The Ukrainians were the government was part of that Russia hoax. They were. I mean, are you guys forgetting about all the shell companies that Biden had out in the ocean? I mean, I don't mean in the ocean, literally. I mean, all these shell companies, and they're acting like he did nothing wrong. It's a shell company. They're made for laundering money. That's what they do. They launder money. Democrats are laundering money, giving it to Stacey Abrams and all their freaky little weird shit. trying to hide it from the next administration. Wow, when are we going to wake up? This country going to wake up? Even the retarded people and say, "Wow, he Donald Trump is right. He's been right about everything." And I've been saying this since day one. And any sane person, it doesn't take a rock. I'm not any smarter than any other sane person. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out these Democrats have been trying to tank this country for a long time now, all so they can stay in power. With tear lick my balls walls with that fucking what's his name? All of them, Schumer, Schiff. I mean, oh god, there's so many. I mean, Nancy Pelosi. I mean, stop it. These people have been in our government for so long, they think they're the president. Thank God they're not. And thank God for Donald Trump and the people of this country coming together finally and making it so big of an election that Donald Trump actually won without them trying to cheat like they always do. The Democrats are cheaters, they're liars, and that's all I've seen since Clinton was in office. A bunch of cheating, lying motherfuckers. And you know what? I want to see people go to jail. We go to jail for driving unsuspended. You're telling me that Joe Biden, if somebody robs a bank, it doesn't matter if they're mental, they still go to a mental institution or they go to prison. Why is Joe Biden not in prison? Why is Hillary Clinton not in prison? Why? Why is it Schumer, Schiff, and Pelosi not in prison for all the lies that they told this country? Saying that Joe Biden, he's on the top of his game, all the way up until he fucked up on that when they're debating each other. Why are they not in prison? They lied to the American people when they're paid to have our interest at hand, our better interest at hand, not trying to cheat on the election or and to stifle free speech with X and all the stuff they tried to stifle in the last election. I mean, all they are is a bunch of cheaters and liars. And then Donald Trump gets on here. Everything he's done again since he's been elected again, they're against. You know why? Because it's going to expose the corruption of those fucking losers.
Yep.
The Democratic Party is full of a bunch of freaky losers, and they don't care if it affects you, me, our kids, our grandkids, or the future of this country. And I am tired of it. Aren't you tired of it? Everything Donald Trump. I mean, I don't always agree with how Donald Trump says things, but you know what? At least I know I'm hearing it straight. You know what I mean? I don't like shit talkers, and I don't like fucking pussies. And the Democratic Party is full of nothing but a bunch of lying, shit talking, bunch of fucking pussies. Excuse my language. They're nothing but pussies. And I'm tired of it. I don't want transgender people in our military. That's not what the military's for. I don't want transgender surgeries done to inmates who committed murder and they're supposed to be getting rehabilitated, not given transgender surgeries. I don't want them talking that crazy shit to my kids, my grandkids, or their kids in the future. What's wrong with that? Why can't we keep the sex out of it, people? And why can't we keep it real? Why can't people be honest with each other and talk straight talk? I mean, are we all adults? I didn't live my whole life to turn 18 years old so I could have the right to vote, turn 21 so I can go drink legally, to have somebody tell me how to think. Really? I'm sorry all you little Democrats got picked on when you were kids and I don't like all you little whiners. I'm tired of it. You little pussies, go crawl back in your little pussy hole in your little safe space and shut the hell up because you are the problem. You are the problem for this country. You're the problem for the rest of the world also because they don't want to hear your whiny shit either. Well, that's how you get it from Scott when he's the buzzing. You know what I'm saying? That's what's really going on, people. It is what it is. I'm talking real talk here, people. And if you don't like it, then don't watch my podcast. I don't want to hear your little comments on my shit because I don't care. I'm not afraid of you. See my face? I am not afraid of you. Anybody shows up at my house trying to protest, they're not going to like what happens. I'm not going to be one of those guys at college that goes to his class and not going to walk through the door because there's some protest. I'll smack you in your face. I paid for this class. I'm going in, and if you can stop me, then I'm not going to go in. But I'm going to pop you in your mouth. Woman, man, if you're protesting for the demise of our ally Israel because you agree with them going in and killing women and children, then I'm going to smack you in your face. And if I get arrested for it, so be it. I'm not a pussy. I love you, baby. My wife loves a real man because I'm toxic. She's a woman. She likes a real man. All right, this is Scott in the Shot. I don't mean to offend anybody, but yet I do. You know what I mean? If you're offended,
nobody is watching this.
Well, if you're offended by watching it, then don't watch it.
Offended by you hide this if they're watching you.
Then what? If they are, who cares? I'm not afraid of the
Oh,
internet.
shit.
When do people get afraid of the internet? They're afraid of the internet? Oh my God. It'd take about 4 guys outside my door that look really tough for me to be afraid. Because I'm not afraid of none of you little pussies. Especially all that crap you're talking. Stop it. It's messing up our country. And people, more than I am Scott, more than I am a husband and loving my wife,
America.
I love this country and I'm an American. I will stand up and fight for it. Scott in a shot. Boom.